Good evening, race fans, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Area 51 Superspeedway Xfinity Series here on Thursday nights. It is the conclusion of the first series or season here in 2024, and we have plenty of action for you at the 2.65 mile Talladega Superspeedway with 75 laps on deck here on green, white, checkered TV. Got about a half a minute left in the qualifying session before we take to the grid and roll off for this 75 lap feature for you tonight. Before we look at that grid, we're going to bring up that points picture and show you how our playoff drivers are looking. Rick Sanchez with a very, very strong run last week. He grabs the top spot with 1,111 points in the championship. Gabe Butler is 8 points behind him, and he is going to do what he can to try and close that gap and pass Rick for the championship here tonight. Kevin Freese, definitely not the week he wanted to have last week after some internet connection issues and some other calamity that we saw at iRacing Superspeedway. He's not mathematically out of it. Much more difficult for him and everybody further on back. But hoping to see him rebound after the unfortunate events that he had last week. Adam Kildare, Eric Laurie, Dean Wilkinson pretty much on the cusp of being mathematically eliminated. And then we have the rest of the field on back. So obviously most of the focus tonight for the championship at least will be on that battle between Rick Sanchez and Gabe Butler. And as we'll see as we pull up our grid here, that gap has shrunk by one more point. Gabe Butler is going to grab that top spot, and he is going to have one bonus point to his name for the evening to start. So 7 points now separate Gabe Butler and the 5 of Rick Sanchez. Dean Wilkinson is going to start to the outside of the pole row with a lap time just 10 thousandths of a second slower than Gabe Butler. He'll be starting in the TW Motorsports 55 on the outside row. Kevin Freese, teammates lined up back-to-back in the inside row. He's going to be in the 25 machine, just behind his teammate Gabe Butler there and Rick Sanchez. We talked about it, the points leader. He is outside of row number 2 in that number 5 Chevrolet. Jack Walls in the Pennzoil 83. He's going to make his start in the top 5 and 9 on the inside. Eric Laurie will be to his outside as they roll off here. Bud Steele in the 6 machine. He's going to start 7th for Roswell Motorsports. Adam Kildare in the 85. He is going to make his start in the outside of row number 4. Carl Lingle in the 30 of Blind Squirrel Racing. And Jeremy Osborne as well for Blind Squirrel Racing are going to make up the 5th row and round out the top 10 of your starting grid tonight. Nick Wing there in the 11th position in that number 28 machine. He is going to be the last qualifier on time. And we see Patrick Groover to his outside, starting in row number 6. A couple more starting in the field tonight. We've got Seth Groover in the number 32 machine inside of row number 7 with Jim Brooks to his outside. And Bob Fitzgerald and Brandon Briggs will be our final 2 starters for this evening as we get ready to roll them off here down the back stretch. One more lap till we go green, and plenty of action, like we mentioned, in store for us tonight. Looking forward to see how this all shakes out. Looks like we see Patrick Groover and Seth Groover still sitting on pit roads. They're going to have to start from the pits. Not sure if they missed the grid there or not. But they unfortunately are going to start from the back of the pack and have to catch up. At least they'll have each other, which should help them make their way back up through the pack. And have to wait and see how the incidents may fall tonight, as we've got quite a bit of racing room here at Talladega Superspeedway, the widest racetrack other than iRacing Superspeedway, but the widest natural or real-life oval that we visit here in the series, and probably some of the less calamity just from the fact that the track is wide, but you never know. It is Talladega, and we are ready to race here, Matt.
Well, are you ready for some 4-wide action?
I think so.
Oh boy, what a tight points battle. I'm just kind of interested to see what happens here as we go green.
The long wait for the tri-oval there. But we are up to race pace. We're getting up there into this first lap as Gabe Butler's going to sail it off into turn number 1, teammate behind him, and bring us around for the first lap of 75 here tonight. So we know that there are 7 points, I should say, that separate Rick Sanchez and Gabe Butler for the championship. So that'll be pretty easy to keep an eye on. Realistically, for Rick Sanchez to have a clean night would more than be enough, I would think, to guarantee him that championship, but you never know what can happen. Obviously, Gabe going to try and be a front runner in this one. The 55 gets shuffled on the line just a little bit there. He's going to have to drop to the back. Maybe the 25 will let him in here, as we'll see. Gabe's going to shuffle to that middle line now, and the 5 is going to take over the command of this race, and I believe get that lap led.
Now that's 8 points that Gabe Butler treads, but I think it's minus. Did you already add in the point?
I did, yep. So it'll be it was 7 with the pole, and then now back to 8.
Yeah, right now they're nose to tail, just like last week.
If I was Rick Sanchez and I'm trying to chase the guy that, I'm trying to beat in the points championship, I'm going to be his friend all night long. I would be pushing him. I would be going with him, making my moves with him, doing everything, and just staying glued to his front or rear bumper, because then you'll be close enough to be able to seal that deal. But you never know. I have to wait and see if any cautions fall or how that happens tonight. But Eric Laurie looks like he's going to grab his first lap lead of the night, that bonus point for him getting that good push from the 85 of Adam Kilday in the outside lane.
I like that. I really do like that strategy. So it does pan out. So he's only got like you said, 8-point deficit. The more spots he loses, you want to stay with him like the whole entire time. Whenever he pits, you pit. Gotta stay with him.
Absolutely, the idiot's going to get underneath him there down the short chute into the tri-oval. Side by side, they're going to come into the front stretch here.
Looks like Gabe's going to lead that lap.
Looks like it. Bonus point. So back to 7 points of the advantage for Rick Sanchez in the championship.
Boomer, you can correct me wrong. Is there a bonus point for having the most laps led? I have to look that up.
I believe there is, and if I was good enough, I probably would have had all those bonus points known before we started the broadcast.
Yeah, you're fine, dude.
But I do believe there are for the most laps led, yes.
Correct. Okay, thank you.
There are bonus points for the highest climber, but obviously that will probably not come into effect for Rick Sanchez or Gabe Butler. Currently the highest climber goes to Bob Fitzgerald back in the 10th position. He's up 5 positions from his starting spot of 15th.
Yeah, it looks like Gabe and Rick are trading blows back and forth, trying to get the all-important extra bonus point for that most laps led. They must have heard us.
They must have. We know some of the field will listen to us during the races. Obviously, we have a light field. Some of the guys that are typically known for that, don't see many of them out there tonight, but still a pretty healthy crowd of 16 stock cars racing around this 2.65-mile oval. A little bit of an update. We've got Patrick Groover and Seth Groover. They, again, started on pit road there, so they are a little bit off of the pace. Unfortunately, they're a little bit slower without the rest of the draft from the field, so they don't have enough energy. But they're not falling back too fast. They've definitely got obviously Seth is stuck in pretty good behind Patrick there, and they're making good time for 2 cars. But I have to wait and see. They're probably going to need something to happen for them to catch up to this lead draft for sure, as they're not going to be able to make up that deficit just by the 2 of them.
If I remember correctly, it's the last Talladega race. I think we had caution free.
That might have been. I'm trying to remember. I know I missed a few weeks here and there. That might have been one. I'm not entirely sure, but obviously Talladega is, one of the easiest places to race. You can see all the lanes on the front stretch. There's plenty of space to go 4 wide there. Even in the
Oh yeah.
corners, even though they've got 3 lines painted. I mean, it's very comfortable to run 3 wide. It's a little tight to run 4 wide. Obviously, this track is about 15 feet wider than Daytona or Atlanta Motor Speedway are, and that gives so much more room for racing. We have seen a lot of struggles with drivers trying to get that third lane going, though. Do you think anybody's going to want to jump up there and try that out tonight, Matt, or is it going to be really the middle lane and the bottom
Yeah,
lane?
I really think that will be coming to play probably toward the end of the race. Or if we catch a yellow and you see the Groover brothers, and they'll try that 3 wide. It's you'll see it.
Yeah, the only reason the Groover brothers are in the bottom lane right now is because they're by themselves, and it's the fastest way around the track. But nonetheless, you'll definitely expect to see those guys shake it up, roll the dice, and hold it high, wide, and handsome in that outside lane here once they get back up to this field. Eric Laurie settling in ahead of his teammate now. The 85 and the 25 working in the outside lane together. Pretty much the rest of the field here in this lead pack. Single file behind them. Rick Sanchez tucked behind the bumper of the 88. Just actually 2 spots behind him now, so only 5 points separate them at the moment. And not enough, obviously. Gabe is definitely going to have to hope to finish a lot higher than Rick in order to get that championship here tonight. Rick having a flawless execution in a race last week, and I mean, really avoiding a lot of calamity and having everything fall his way at the right time in order to capitalize and have a really great race to set him up for this championship tonight. Definitely not over. There's still a lot of racing left to go tonight, but Gabe's going to have to wait and see if that 5 stays on his bumper or not, because, like I said, if that happens, it's going to be a pretty easy win for Rick Sanchez, but still, like I said, lots of racing to go. As you see, Rick going to jump to the outside there. He's going to grab Eric Laurie. He's going to try and grab some more laps led, trying to grab that bonus point.
Yeah, that's a big boost.
Clear to the bottom. He's in the new leader.
Yeah, the separated draft between the 88, and I think that's the, sorry, my graphics in a way. The 83,
Jack Walls.
Jack Walls, yep.
But Steele there, 4th car in the inside line there behind Jack Walls. Bob Fitzgerald back there as well. Outside lane forming a little bit better now. The 071, the 85, the 25. And then the 55. And it looks like Brandon Briggs in the 18, 5th car in the outside lane. Nick Wing, Jim Brooks, and Jeremy Osborne also hanging out at the back of this pack as well.
A big shout out to my boy Bob Fitzgerald sitting there right there in the lead draft, sticking his nose up there. Good on Bob.
A little more urgency now to get to the front of the pack. About maybe halfway through this first fuel run here. Still a lot of racing left as we are working on lap number 11 now. Something fun that we've talked about a little bit throughout the season, but want to bring up again tonight because we will actually announce the winner of it. The 4DRacewear.com team has been kind enough to donate a pair of gloves to a random driver who has started in at least 10 races this season. So we will do that raffle at the end of this race and award that to that random finisher, or the random driver that has competed in 10 of the 12 events so far this season. Definitely, obviously, you see it in our caution commercials every week. 4DRacewear.com does a lot for us here at Area 51. Obviously, Craig Forsyth and the team running in the series on Tuesday nights, and they donated a bunch of pair of shoes to all of the champions last season, all 3 champions in all 3 series. And this year this season they're donating a pair of gloves to a random driver who has completed 10 of those 12 races, and that's a really cool program and a really great collaboration that they have here with Area 51, Matt.
Pardon to interrupt you, but I was watching that outside line, and they passed about 5 cars on the bottom, and Adam Kilday went straight to the lead. That was a great big push by Kevin Freeze there.
And I'm going to get that lap led, it looks like. Kevin Freese in the 55 working in the outside lane. Everyone was pretty much strung out on the inside lane single file behind them.
By the way, I bought me another pair of boots from those guys, and my boy Jim Herrick sent me out a pair. You gotta give them a try, folks. You won't be disappointed.
Absolutely. Obviously, we've run the promotion through the cautions every week, but you see the code AREA5115 for 15% off of all your sim racing apparel at 4dracewear.com. That's area code 5115, area 5115. And again, we'll be announcing those winners tonight for the Thursday night series to see who has won that raffle for that free pair of gloves that Jim Herrick and the guys have donated to us and the league.
Looks like everything kind of settled down just for a little bit. I know Kevin wants to get up there and lead a lap, and he loves fuel saving. Wink, wink. Hi, Kevin. So he doesn't like fuel saving, just FYI. So I guess about probably another 10 laps.
6.
We'll see these guys in. You see these guys in.
I have to wait and see. I thought it was closer to 20 laps, but we'll have to wait and see
could
what
be
the
wrong.
fuel mileage is. I know they always try to mess with the setups and tweak the cars, and especially the fuel load to get the cars handling as best as they can for these super speedway style races. Always trying to shake it up and make something happen.
I had to go look. It is 10 gallons of fuel, so it's about 21 laps. You are correct.
Actually, I think it's about right halfway in between what we both said, so I think it's perfect. But yeah, you see the 25 there. He's going to jump down to the bottom. Going to grab this lap lead this time by for the 25 machine. Getting the push from the 85 as they sail it off into turn number 1. Beautiful day here in the sim at Talladega Superspeedway.
Beautiful day outside, too.
Yeah, it's quite warm here in Tennessee where we're both at, Matt.
Yeah, 86 degrees here today.
A little hot for my liking, but it was nice. It was nice outside.
Oh, it's not that bad. We got storms tomorrow. Speaking of storms, looks like Richard wants to get back up toward the front.
He's got the help of the 55 in the outside lane right now. 25 in the 85, 88, 83. Throw the 6 in there as well. The first 5 in the inside lane. 5 in the 55 there. A little bit further back to Brandon Briggs in the white and green machine in the outside lane. Eric Laurie just kind of hanging out there in the green and yellow John Deere machine. As we run at about just over 190 miles an hour here down the backstretch at Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, and we still got the old Gruber brothers sitting here just chilling. Kind of waiting for a caution.
Yeah, we noticed they're starting to slip back a little bit more. Obviously, about 28 seconds back. Not much that they can really do. They just do not have the momentum, unfortunately, that the rest of this pack has with more cars in it. And they're probably going to keep sliding back by about a second a lap or so. And just unfortunate with the nature, they had to both start on pit road. Wouldn't be surprised if one of them had to do it, and then they both did it to kind of be together, but not sure what the story is on that.
Probably planned. I don't think Rick can get up there. They're missing that all-important third car, but there was a third car there momentarily, the 18 at Brandon Briggs. He actually slid toward the back end of the pack, and it looks like everybody's getting ready for pit stop, so we're about 2 to 3 laps here, bud.
Looks like it. 5 and the 55 are slowing down just a little bit there, a little bit disconnected as they try to find a hole to get back into the bottom lane. And it looks like the 55 is going to tuck in nicely there. Might have enough space to bring the 5 along with him. See if
Yep,
he
there
does.
it is.
Yep, there we go. Single file for the whole field here. Kevin Freese going to get a couple extra laps led for this as everyone settles in, single file, and we'll have to wait and see, as you've talked about so much in the past, Matt, that execution on and off of pit road.
Yes, I have.
Watch and see who does it the best.
Who doesn't make any mistakes? That's going to be Richard. Gabe Butler cannot afford any mistakes. Nor the Kevin.
I think we saw speeding penalties from both of those guys. If not, we did absolutely see it from Gabe, but it might have been both last week. So
yeah, it was actually both.
Yeah. So we're going to have to wait and see. Speeding is going to be absolutely critical, especially if this race continues to trend the way that it is with the green flag action. If you get caught speeding on pit road, that could be the end of your race and the end of your championship bid. Gabe Butler currently running in the 3rd position, Rick Sanchez in the 6th. So that's 3 points there, so 4 points now advantage to Rick Sanchez. We've already highlighted Rick needs to have a decent day to be able to be in the running there. Kevin Freese definitely needs the opportunity to win this race and hope that both Gabe and Rick finish quite further behind him. And I think mathematically they pretty much are with the shorter field tonight. The only ones eligible for the championship. Again, just have to wait and see how it shakes out as we are pretty close here. Probably seeing pit stops in the next lap or two.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. I got my little radio here, just waiting for them boys to call in. Well, I got one driver calling in, but I don't think anybody else is going to go with him. That's going to be really bad. No, never mind. The whole field. Wow. Boomer. That's everybody. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, that was a lot of cars coming down pit road.
No mistakes by any driver.
071, just a splash and go.
That was an awful short stop.
I didn't even register a stop for him. As you see all these guys coming off of pit road, Jack Walls and the 88 are gonna have to try and figure out who's got that spot first. But Eric Laurie, it looks like, might have had an incident where he didn't take tires or fuel. Might have had both things unchecked, unfortunately, because I didn't register a single pit time for him in SDK, which means that he may not have pit at all.
He did not. I went back and watched it. He missed his box completely. That's gonna cost him. But does he have enough fuel to get back around?
We'll wait and see.
Yeah, he does. He's coming by this time. No, he just ran out of fuel right now.
He's running out as he's coming down the line. That is going to be very detrimental to the 071 for the rest of this race. He shouldn't have a problem getting down to speed and coasting in the 071 as now leader Gabe Butler. You see the gap there. Gabe Butler and Kevin Freese did it better than anybody else getting off and on pit road. Only 2 vehicles with them. It's definitely not going to be enough to hold back that pack as they're going to have a much faster pace with the energy behind them. As you see, Jack Wall is starting to catch up to the 88 and the 25 fairly quickly here. One more vehicle, and they may have been able to break away from the pack, but they are all back here, and you see the 83 is going to try and take that momentum to the high side there. And we'll see where the 88 and the 25 even out once they get up to speed with the speed of this draft. All the way back to Bud Steele in 9th are going to be in this main group. We see, looks like Jeremy Osborne and Adam Kilday are about a second and a half off the rear bumper cover of Bud Steele. That may not be close enough for them to catch up to this draft, and we'll have to wait and see.
Dean just got kicked out of line there by Richard Sanchez. I don't know what happened there, but he still maintained control of his car. Still green.
You see them move the 88 and the 25. Ooh, a little bit of swiggle there for the 83 by the 28. Collected and running true. 88 and 25 have regained the lead, though. It looks like Jeremy Osborne and Adam Kildare, with some of that action there and the two wide action ahead of them, are going to have enough to catch back up to this pack. So we're going to have 11 cars here in the lead draft. Brandon Briggs off by himself. He is going to be about 11 seconds back, and he may have had a moment by himself there, a little slow. Could just be that he's by himself. But
right.
That last lap, actually, yeah, he had a moment there. It looks like that last lap he was about 6 seconds slower than the rest of the field. Eric Laurie there actually has now found the Patrick and Seth Groover brother duo, and they are all running for position at the moment. So they're about 40 seconds off the pack, and we'll update you in maybe a lap or so once we get back up to speed to see what their times are. To see if they can start making some headway back to the pack, but they're definitely pretty far behind, about 40 seconds there with about 50-second laps, so they're only about 10 seconds ahead of the leaders as they are side by side with Jack Walls grabbing the lap lead that time by.
I think Brandon's actually slowing down for them guys. Which is actually pretty smart. If you actually really think about fuel saving.
Yeah, it could be also advantageous because he knows he's going to keep bleeding time constantly until he gets back to them anyway because he lost the draft. So it could be smart for him to accelerate that process, get back to them, and then be able to run similar lap times. All right, so this is actually interesting. The last time by, Eric Laurie ran a 49.86 at the lead of that pack. Jack Walls ran a 50.20. So there is about 0.4 of a second of a difference, in the Eric Laurie and Groover brother trio now is actually running faster than our leaders. We'll see what it is this time by. Gabe Butler running a 50.16 as he crossed the stripe. And we'll see, update you once Eric Laurie, Patrick Groover, and Seth Groover also cross the stripe here. As yep, you see the 18 slowly fading on back to these guys. Hopefully has enough to catch this draft here and hang on. Yeah, as that time by, Eric Laurie ran a 49.98. So this pack right here is faster than our leaders at the moment.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah,
but
if nothing else, they won't bleed any more time, right?
Yeah, that's the most important thing. I was kind of waiting for the 28 to slide back there. He goes out a little bit of trouble there. Trying to keep side by side with the 88 and 25. You know they're the best pushers on the track. It's made it awful difficult. But now Richard Sanchez is pushing the 83 of our buddy Jack Walls. He's trying to push him up to the lead.
Even with the leaders, or the leaders are even right now. This 83 gets a little bit of a push there off the short chute into the tri-oval. Should have enough to lead this lap this time by. It's the 83, the 5, and the 55. Along with the 85 working in the outside lane. Now the 83 jumps to the bottom. It's the 83, the 88, the 25, and the 51 in the inside lane. 11 cars in this lead pack here after our first green flag pit cycle. Working on lap number 29 of 75.
Yeah, that was actually a really good pit stop by everybody there. With the little mistiming by Eric Laurie, but now it went from a 2-car draft there, Boomer, to a 4-car draft now.
Yeah, and they're running pretty similar lap times to our leaders now, so definitely advantageous for Eric Laurie, the Groover brothers, and now Brandon Briggs. Had to mention Carl Engel, not sure what the issue was there, but we see he is out on the scoring pylon. Didn't have a chance to jump back and see what happened there, but he is out for the night and will be our first retiree.
What a push by Richard Sanchez. Just trying to keep that 88 visible. That's all he needs.
Yeah, like we said, just needs to be within a few spots or so, and obviously now jumping to the bottom, he's going to be ahead of that 88 car. As the Ford of Dean Wilkinson inherits the lead of the outside lane. 6 of Bud Steele in 28. Nick Wing trying to make something happen there in that third lane. They've got some good momentum down the backstretch here.
They're out 3 wide now. Looks like Bud Steele is... it's time to go. I want to lead a lap. Those guys are having all the fun. But doesn't have all the help that he needs.
And you can see how comfortable they can do 3 wide action here at Talladega.
Oh yeah, very easy. Daytona, different story.
Dean Wilkinson grabbing a lap lead that time by. .55 jumping to the bottom, jumping out of the draft.
Interesting.
Getting a lap lead and jumping back. 85, the 6 to 28, and the 25 working in that outside lane, very connected there. Should be a good run coming to the 85 as they come through the tri-oval.
Yeah, Dean's got to be careful with a short pack like this. You definitely do not want to lose the draft here. But it does look like he's got on the back of the 08 of Bob Fitzgerald there. I think he's all right.
.11 cars in this lead pack. Working on lap 33. 4 cars in the second pack, about 40 seconds behind. This 28 gets shuffled out of line here. He's going to fall back a spot or 2.
It's a chess match. It's anybody can win right now. I see a bunch of contenders here, as long as they don't make any mistakes.
Yeah, pretty much anybody.
Commentator's curse.
Pretty much this 11 car pack is, I mean, anybody here at the moment has the opportunity to try and win this race. Still not to the halfway point yet.
No,
we've got a couple pit cycles left. Pretty much everybody taking right side tires only and fuel that last time by.
Yeah, it's been relatively calm.
Yeah, everybody but Eric Laurie pit on lap 21. So we will assume that most of the pit stops will happen on lap 42. Maybe plus or minus 1 lap. We'll see if the whole field comes back down again at the same time, as the 88 is going to jump in front of the 5. Try and grab a lap lead here this time by, and it was close between him and Adam Kilday. As Adam has a great push from Kevin Freese to get back up to the front there.
Yep, I kind of figured that Bud Steele would jump to that outside there. Right now, he doesn't really have any help.
McLean's going to try and get up there with him. But the 6 has already fallen back, losing a little bit of momentum. So 88, the 5, the 83, the 51, the 41 in the inside lane. The outside lane is the 85, the 25, the 28, and the 6. Bob Fitzgerald in the 55. Bob Fitzgerald in the 08, D. Wilkinson in the 55, also in this pack here. That is your top 11. Eric Laurie, Patrick and Seth Groover, as well as Brandon Briggs, about 38 seconds now off the pace. They're continuing to click off a couple tenths a lap. Not going to be enough to catch up by the end of it, but definitely at least helps them keep from going a lap down. Still going to need something to happen other than green flag action for them to catch up to the pack, as we see 3 wide now with the 6 and the 55 running in the outside lane.
Bud is not giving up. He wants to get up there. He wants to end the season on a high note.
88 and the 5 lined up side by side on that front row. Gabe's going to jump down in front of the 5 of Rick Sanchez.
Now there's that 3 cars on top now. That may work out for Bud Steele here.
Yeah, he's got a pretty solid push from the 55 there. See what they can do down the backstretch here.
Nope. I lost all that momentum they just gained.
'88 still with the advantage in the inside lane with the 5 and the 83 in tow. 85-25 lined up middle lane. 655 lined up outside lane. That is your 11 leaders in this lead pack here, as we're finally at the halfway point of this one. Less than 5 laps now before our second green flag pit cycle, and we'll see if that jumbles up this pack at all. Obviously in the last one we lost Eric Laurie and Brandon Briggs from the lead pack, fell on back to the Groover brother duo. And we'll see if everybody comes the same lap and if everybody shakes out the same way or not. I think that actually boded well more for that pack staying together, the fact that they did all pit together.
Yeah.
It seemed to make sense that, you know, it was a much bigger draft by the time we got back up going. Obviously the 25 and the 88 were able to jump out ahead of everybody else with really good execution in and out of pit road. But unfortunately not enough momentum for them to stay ahead of that lead pack. We've seen 3 cars have enough momentum to hold on to a draft there that's just as equal to a larger size draft. So, but you have to have at least 3. If you have 2, any other bigger pack is going to be able to run you down no matter what. And we've already demonstrated that a couple times here as we see Eric Laurie leading that pack of 4, still faster than our leaders, chipping away a tenth or 2 at a time each lap.
I was looking to see if Kevin Freeze can get up there before we started our green flag pit stop cycle here again, and
good momentum on the back.
It's gonna be close.
He's trying to get there. If he can get there, though, it's more than likely that the 55 is not going to be able to get clear himself to get both cars clear, which may mean that the 55 might have to drop further back until he can find a hole to fit into. But still, nonetheless, giving a good push to the 25, and he is into the lead now. We'll see if they can get clear, if either of them or both of them can get clear before we get to green flag pit cycle number 2.
Well, he's got about 2 to 3 laps to figure it out, because drivers are going to be pitting here very, very shortly.
Oh, the 55 is going to find a hole and leave the 25 out to dry.
I think he's going to let him in.
There he is, yep.
Yeah.
Some sportsmanship there within the league. 85, 88, 25, 55, 5. Your top 5 at the moment. If the trend continues to pit every 21 laps, we should see a few drivers coming down this next lap, starting lap number 42.
maybe this time. I actually really think it's this time. Possibility. Maybe.
There's a field
Yep,
that
here they
peel
come.
off. The whole pack.
Here
Here
they
they come. Oh,
all.
the 51. It's going to get turned to the inside wall. He's going to spin. The 41 is going to spin, and he's going to hit the inside wall as well. Wow. That was a big hit. Thankfully, it's in the virtual world.
Yeah, that was a bump by the 41 that hit the 51. Oh, when you send him to the outside wall. Oh, tough break for Jim Brooks. I know he really wanted to
And
end
on
the
a high
season on
note.
a high note.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very tough.
that stings.
You'll see as they come off here, the 88 and the 85 are going to have to battle. Or no, so that's the 25 and the 88, followed by the 5, the 85 off of pit road. There's that second pack. They're going to wait a lap here to pit. And I believe that'll actually mean that they're going to grab the lead here as they come on by Kevin Freese. Not quite enough momentum there. See the 25 and the 88 with the 5 and the 85. Eric Laurie, Patrick Groover, Seth Groover, Brandon Briggs coming in this time by.
You know, this might benefit them. Uh-oh. Did Patrick speed? Nope, Seth.
Is that a penalty for one of them?
Yeah, he got caught speeding. Seth Groover, too fast, entering pit road. That'll be pretty much a 40-second hold on pit road.
Yeah, it looks like Patrick, Eric, and Brandon there in that group have already left their pit stall and are heading out. Seth Groover is going to be held for 40 seconds there, and that will for sure put him a lap down. Kevin Freese now leading the field here, working on lap number 44. He's got Gabe Butler and Rick Sanchez, Adam Kildee and Bob Fitzgerald in the top 5 as the 83 and the 55 have a little bit of run in the outside lane at the moment. So it's the top 7 now in this lead pack. We're going to have to go about 11 seconds back to get to Bud Steele and Nick Wing. Nick Wing looks like he had a 4-tire and fuel stop. Bud Steele only had 2 tires, as most of the rest of the field did as well. But unfortunate for Bud, he fell off the lead draft, but was able to... actually, honestly, he probably picked up his teammate there, Nick Wing. So I think they're both working together in the Roswell Motorsports, that chat. So probably intentional there for Bud Steele to drop back and help Nick Wing out. We saw Jeremy Osborne spin there. He is about 21 seconds off the lead without any help. And then this group here, Patrick Groover and Eric Laurie have shed another driver as Brandon Briggs was unable to keep up during the pit out cycle. And then we see Jim Brooks back on track. He is the first car 1 lap down.
We got a wreck.
Wreck in the front. 25 of Kevin Freese goes around. Green flag still on the speedway. We're going to try and rewind that and see what happened there. You see the 83 leading and the 25. And the 83, it's a little sideways. Ooh, big contact with the 55. Ooh, some dose damage maybe to the 5. And he comes back down across the nose of the 25, and they both make a huge impact here to the inside wall. That is going to shake up. Actually, the 83 able to stay off the wall, but a big impact, for the 25.
Well, Boomer, this shakes things up a little bit.
That does. Still green, though.
But Your 2 point leaders are nose to tail. This is working out pretty good for Richard. He's been lights out all season long. He's got one more pit stop to do.
So Kevin Freese has made it back to pit lane. Looks like he has taken his fast repair. Brandon Briggs back down on pit road. So that leaves Rick Sanchez and Gabe Butler here, as well as Dean Wilkinson, Bob Fitzgerald, and Adam Kilday in now the lead pack of 5. Bud Steele and Nick Wing with the lap car of Jim Brooks are about 12 seconds off of the leaders. Jeremy Osborne still by himself. And we go back to Eric Laurie, Patrick Groover, and the lap car of Seth Groover, who has once again found his brother. Jack Waltz here is pitting with some of the damage that he had from that incident. Kevin Freese already back out on the speedway after getting his fast repair. He's going to find the group of Bud Steele, Nick Wing, and Jim Brooks. And that should be everybody in the field there. But we've got a 5-group breakaway at the front of this pack.
Wow.
The biggest moment that we've seen so far tonight.
Jesus.
Wasn't big enough to bring out a yellow, though.
I'm lost. I'm literally shaking my head in my chair. I don't understand it. That caution, are they just hiding it? It's just they put that thing away.
With most of the incident happening below the yellow line, unfortunately iRacing typically won't throw those, so
Come on, Barney.
that's why it wasn't automatically thrown at least. But we see the top 5 leading us through as we enter the final third stage of this race here. 50 laps working on right now of the scheduled 75.
Okay, looks like Bud Steele and Nicholas Wing have picked up some hitchhikers.
So they do have the lap car of Jim Brooks and Kevin Freese. So that battle is for position between the 51 and the 25. Bud Steele and Nick Wing, the 6th and 7th place vehicles at the moment. They are about 11 seconds off the pace, and they're actually just a tad faster than our leaders, so they are slowly reeling them in, very slowly. Rick Sanchez, Gabe Butler, Dean Wilkinson, Bob Fitzgerald, and Adam Kilday remain your top 5, and we are counting down the remaining laps, as we will see 24 to go this time by as we cross the stripe. Rick Sanchez looking in his mirror, seeing the rest of that group of 5 behind him, and second place in points Gabe Butler directly behind. And that is a good sight for the 5 of Rick Sanchez as he tries to win this championship tonight.
Yeah, all you just need is pretty much have a flawless pit stop, and that's pretty much it. Uh-oh.
Patrick Groover entering pit lane.
He blew up.
Trying to give
Yes,
a push.
he did.
You see the smoke on the front stretch there. It's about 13 laps to go. Will be the next scheduled pit stop if we keep going about every 21 laps here, and that will be the final stop. We're about 2 laps from the final stop happening. Don't expect a lot of urgency out of this 88 car.
Yeah.
Knowing...
I'm looking... Oh, sorry. I didn't mean...
No, you're fine. Just knowing the state of where we're at, there's not much he can do, even if the 5 was at the back of this pack here. So, not much urgency that we're probably going to see here as he tries to get to the outside of the 5 by himself. But go ahead, Matt.
I was looking at the 55. He does have a little bit of damage on that front end there. It looks like he's having a hard time keeping up with the 5 and the 88, and I'm just keeping old Bob Fitzgerald with him.
That might have been a little bit planned there for the 5 to save a little bit of fuel, and if it is, that's some
really
great
smart
sportsmanship between two champions of our sport here, the 88 and the 5.
They've kind of grown together this season, and I will say this from Rick, me as watching him race and him being a teammate to me on Saturdays and Mondays, he has greatly improved since the first time I've seen him, and now he can become a champion in about 20 laps if everything falls together.
The rebrand for him in the off-season from the 510 Jasper Engines Ford Mustang to the number 5 sponsored Chevyland Chevrolet Camaro. Rick has rebranded in the off-season and brought a whole new outlook and quite a few race wins to this season here, as he has been quite dominant from start to finish.
So, true story about him. He actually bought a vehicle from that place, and Bubba, who's actually the general manager there, that works there. So that's how he got the little sponsor on his nice little Xfinity car there. It's pretty nice. Really good dude. Got a lot of respect for Bubba.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of really great colors on that number 5 Chevrolet. You've seen the black and yellow and silver colors the last 2 weeks now. So again, Rick continues to try and bring that championship home. He's got a 6-point advantage as they run over Gabe Butler. Hop on back here, about 7.5 seconds off the lead. We've got 2 battles for position. Bud Steele, teammate Nick Wing, trying to push their way back to the front. They're actually catching a little bit more now. It's only about 7.5 seconds back, and they're about almost 6/10 of a second there, faster than Gabe Butler that last time by.
Right.
You've also got the 51 of Jim Brooks and the 25 of Kevin Freese here in this group. And that is for position, albeit for a position 1 lap down. Further on back, we've got Eric Laurie, Seth Groover, and Patrick Groover. Seth and Patrick and Jack Walls in this group are actually racing for position. Eric Laurie and the 41 of Jeremy Osborne are also for position. Seth Groover, Jack Walls, Patrick Groover are all lap down. 1 lap down. And then Brandon Briggs has retired for the evening.
That lead has shrunk there, Boomer.
Yeah, it's
from 7.6 to 6.8 now.
Yeah, it's shrinking a lot. I wonder if
fuel save.
Yeah, I wonder if they're just trying to save more fuel at the front. I mean, I don't know if it's really necessary for them to do that, or if there's enough damage for some of these guys. I don't think the 5, if he did, had barely any contact during that incident with the 25 and the 83. We did see them make heavier contact to the nose, and the damage that you can see even from up here in the 55.
Oh yeah, his car is all beat up at the front. I think that's one of the reasons why, because he's really having a hard time keep up. But if Dean was really the last car here, he would fall back like a rock.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
Most likely, yeah. Oh man, it scuffed up the Area 51 logo there.
But
But yeah,
That's
you
all
can
right.
see they're catching.
Yes, they are. Now it's down to 5.7 seconds.
17 laps to go. The window to the end is open. If the 21 lap trend continues, everybody will be pitting on lap 63 with 12 to go, which should be in about 5 laps. By then, pretty much everybody should have to pit. So, pretty guaranteed that in the next 5 laps, you should see everybody on pit road. Ryan Decker hopping in to say hi and say get him. Miss you on track, buddy, but glad you can join the broadcast at least.
Yeah. Ryan, I hope everything is going well for you, buddy. We do miss you. I want to see you out there and getting your first win. I really do. I wish you best of luck in your future races.
15 laps to go as we cross the stripe. 88 trying to see what he can do to cement that bonus point for the most laps led. It's probably going to be a toss-up between him and the 5. Gabe Butler, Rick Sanchez, Dean Wilkinson, Bob Fitzgerald, Adam Kilday remain your top 5 and have been after the incident between the 83 and the 25 after the second green flag pit cycle. Bud Steele and 28 are catching this pack though, as they are now to within 2.5 seconds, and this whole pack should be able to catch each other by the time we have to make pit stops, and they are happening this lap.
Yep, here we go. Money stop.
80 at the 5 on pit road this time by. Couple others
Kevin
in
Freeze too fast entering pit road.
That'll be probably the final nail in the coffin for him tonight.
Well, he's got teammates to push. He's been pretty loyal to the Team Bunaka.
Rick Sanchez is going to get out first. Bob Fitzgerald's going to get out second. 88 of Gabe Butler third. As Bud Steele is actually continuing to lead us around this track. He's got Nick Wing in tow, and they're going to come this time by.
How about old Bob Fitzgerald? Come on, Bob. I want to see you get that win there, Bob. I really do.
So this is going to leave the lead to the 071 of Eric Laurie. He's got Seth Groover and Jack Walls, who are 1 lap down, as well as Brandon Briggs. Or no, sorry, that's not Brandon Briggs. That's Jeremy Osborne in this pack. So that's 071 and the 41 racing for position. The 32, the 83, and the 54 racing for position 1 lap down. Eric Laurie is going to get a lap led this time by. And we'll see how it shakes out. Bud Steele and Nick Wing are coming off of pit road. But here come the pack of our 5 leaders, who should shuffle back to that lead after this pit cycle is over. And they are too wide at the moment. We'll keep an eye on these drivers who should be pitting this time by or in the next couple laps. And then we'll head on back to Gabe Butler, Bob Fitzgerald in that group, who should resume the lead at some point here. We'll pop over to them now. You see the inside lane is the 5, the 08, and the 85. Outside lane is the 88 and the 55. Again, the 88's going to need a lot more help in positions than just the few he has here, and it doesn't help any that he is behind the 5 of Rick Sanchez. Eric Laurie,
sorry, go ahead.
Eric Laurie and Jeremy Osborne still continue to stay out. Go ahead, Matt.
I'm sorry, but right now I'm the biggest Bob Fitzgerald fan right now. I really don't root on very drivers that much, but the luck Bob Fitzgerald has had this whole entire season, him getting caught up in messes not of his own doing, speeding up pit road, it could all end here with a nice victory.
Eric Laurie and Jeremy Osborne, as well as Seth Groover, pit that time by. And that is going to give the lead back to the 5 of Rick Sanchez as he tucks back in ahead of the 08 of Bob Fitzgerald. Little side draft there between the 08 and the 88. Lap car of Kevin Freese has found his way to this pack, and the 55 is going to get out of the way. He's going to let the 85, the 25 get to his teammate to help him push in the outside lane with 11 laps to go.
I find that really odd.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm on the edge of my seat right now. We got 10 to go.
Side by side, the 5 and the 88 championship leaders. Again, Rick has an advantage of 7 points over Gabe Butler, excluding the finishing positions for this race. So Gabe needing to finish much higher. Obviously, he can't finish any higher than he is, but he needs that gap to be a lot higher between him and the 5, and with this 5-car pack, likely not going to do it. We've got 10 to go. It'll be 9 at the stripe this time by.
Oh man, that time by, I think that Gabe led that by 8 thousandths of a second. Oh, but Bob Fitzgerald is side drafting the crap out of the 88 and 25. He's doing all he can to try to push that 5 car.
Drifting up just a little bit there. He's going to try and push that 5 as the 88 doesn't have enough to get clear. The 08 drifting up enough to hit the 25.
Ooh. Man, it's going to be awful tough trying to clear Gabe Butler. Awful tough. Nope.
There he does.
Gabe Butler slides right in front of Rick. Nope, and he goes back up.
I think he's just playing with him now.
I really think he is.
Less than 8 laps to go to finish the first season here in 2024. Rick Sanchez with an opportunity to win this race and win this championship. Gabe Butler still battling on the outside with his teammate, the lap car of Kevin Freese. Bob Fitzgerald pushing the 5 on the inside, followed by Adam Kilday. The 5 of Dean Wilkinson, third car in the outside lane, is your top 5. 7 to go this time at the stripe.
Oh, they are right now. They are pinning each other down. They are side drafting, not giving each other an inch.
Bud Steele and Nick Wing are now 10 seconds back. They've only got 2 cars in that group, and unfortunately are going to start fading after all the ground that they made up before the last green flag pit stop. And we will see the top 5 battle it out here, and we're going to pick up another lap car.
That's going to be Gabe Butler's teammate, Eric Laurie.
Gabe Butler ahead at the stripe, this time by 6 to go. Will he drop down?
No, he's going to stay up
stay
there.
Up there with his teammate. That allows the 5 to pull even with him.
I got a feeling that Kevin is just toying with Rick right now.
Ooh, really tight on the door there for those guys.
Yes, it was. Oh, hang on to it, Bob.
5 laps to go at the stripe.
Ooh, came close right there going the triable. 5 to go.
88 of Gabe Butler still with the push from the lap down teammate of Kevin Freese. 5 in the 08 lined up in the inside lane with Adam Kilday. Couple lap cars, some stragglers here as we get to the finish of this one. Gabe just not enough to clear the 5 there down the backstretch. Rick will surge ahead, clear of the 88 in the outside lane. Will he pull up the block?
Now we got all 3 teammates of Team Bootlocker up on the high side right now, with the exception of Dean up there.
Yep, the lone TW Motorsports driver there. Gabe has enough momentum here to clear the 5, but he's going to continue to stay in that outside lane as he's preferred to do. 4 laps to go.
I think he's just waiting to cut down in front of Rick right now. I think Kevin is really holding back right now and not really pushing the 88. Kind of saving a little bit of trying not to get too hot while he's pushing him. Oh,
some more side
Bob,
drafting from the 08
close,
of Bob Fitzgerald. Drifting up a little more and more each lap.
I know. Now we're coming with 3 to go. Tensions are mounting.
Season's still on the line, the championship on the line for the 5 in the 88. A good finish to cap off the season on the line for Bob Fitzgerald, Adam Kilday, and Dean Wilkinson here in the top 5. A couple lap cars mixed into the party here. We'll have 2 laps to go this time by, as Rick Sanchez continues to lead the bottom lane. Gabe Butler still leading the outside lane with teammate Kevin Freese, the lap car behind him. 2 to go.
All right, who's been saving? Who has not been pushing? Who has the coolest motor right now? That's what I want to know. Has Kevin Freese been holding him back for the 88? Has Bob not been pushing that much?
Pretty even down the back straightaway. Slight advantage into 3 for the 5. 08 all over the back bumper of the 5. Trying to get him that advantage. We're going to be white flag this time by. To finish the season, Gabe Butler is going to get the white flag in the outside lane. Again, he's got the lap car, the teammate of Kevin Freese. Rick Sanchez just needs to bring it home in one piece here. Has the opportunity to win the race and win the championship here.
All right, Bob. Push for all it's worth.
Gabe Butler with a good run down the back straightaway. Not enough to clear the 5 heading into turn 3. Rick Sanchez surges ahead with the push from the 08. They're going to come off 4 for the final time here in the first season of 2024 through the tri-oval. Does Rick Sanchez have enough? Is there enough momentum? The 88 pulls ahead through the tri-oval.
Oh, it's going to be so close!
Gabe Butler.
Gabe Butler! By 18 thousandths of a second, he beat Richard Sanchez at the line.
Race win to the 88 of Gabe Butler. Championship to the 5 of Rick Sanchez. Unofficial results you see here on your screen. Got a few drivers we'll talk to in just a moment. All right, as we get ready for interviews here, we are going to start with the 08s of Bob Fitzgerald here as we get ready to bring him up here, get our cameras all nice and ready to go. And here we are with Bob Fitzgerald of the 08 Toyota Supra coming home a solid P3 tonight, Bob. Definitely a great finish to round out this first season of 2024. Take us through what it looked like from your perspective behind the driver's visor.
It was a great race. I didn't intend to be the pusher behind Rick or anybody, but that's how it ended up, and I gave it all I had, and like another half a lap, and I would have been blown up for sure. But that was awful fun, and I was kind of pulling for Rick, but that's the way it went. And congrats to Gabe if that's how it ends up. But it was a good race, good season. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Definitely a good race for sure. We saw you guys get off and on pit road clean and able to stay up with the whole pack. Really not a lot of chaos tonight. Was pretty clean and green. Were you expecting that, or were you kind of expecting more chaos after the race we had last week?
It's, well, last week I had 0x and zero black flags. I was one of the few. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that tonight, and we didn't get it. Um, everybody from learned from last week, I guess. Just just got to be a little more careful on pit entry and exit so you don't speed.
Yeah, as we've seen drivers down the season, I know I've done my fair share of mistakes. You, on the other hand, you had your fair share of mistakes, but you've actually cleaned that up, and I think that is your second podium of the season, if I'm mistaken.
I think you're
Uh,
right. Yeah.
yeah, I think I'm right on that one. But I like I said, I was rooting you on. I was pulling for you. I love to see the guys who never, never really get a chance to run up front, have a shot at the win. Um, Bob, I really am proud of you, bud. I really am.
I appreciate it, Matt. Yeah, I'm just not super aggressive like a lot of guys, and that's sometimes what causes the chaos. But I just love racing. I don't care first, second, third, 12th, whatever it is. I just like racing.
Me too, my friend. Me too, my friend. Well, before we let you go, do you have any special thank yous, shout outs you would like to make for us here tonight on the congrats on that third place finish?
Yeah, thanks to you guys, Green White Checker. You guys do an awesome job. It's so much fun to watch the race after. And thanks to Area 51. And that's about it.
Well, I appreciate it, Bob, and congratulations again for that top 3 finish tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. See you guys.
Good job, Bob.
All right, so we have an update,
Mm-hmm.
and my apologies, because we called
Nah.
something that wasn't accurate. At
Uh-oh.
least I did.
Uh-oh.
We have an update on the points, which we will give in a minute. But we're going to bring up our second place finisher for now, and it will be the 5 of Rick Sanchez. So we will bring Rick Sanchez up into the booth, and we have
Hey guys.
a solid second place finish for you tonight, Rick. Take us through what it looked like from your viewpoint down behind the driver's seat.
Looked like a real great race there until that incident. I didn't see what happened. I guess it was just a push that got bad or something. And next thing we know, we had a little damage there, but I was able to stay in the draft, So I decided to save that last repair, fast repair, and I don't know. Would have been better with the whole field together, but it was a good season, I think. Good end of the season too.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, 5 wins on the season, really close to winning the race here tonight as well. Coming home P2 at Talladega. Definitely seemed like it was pretty quiet for the most part. Didn't really see a lot of yellows. Didn't really see a lot of chaos other than that one incident. And obviously, we saw you get a little bit tangled up in that. Doesn't really look like there's any damage to the car, but it looked like you might have got tagged a little bit in that incident there.
Yeah, it said 4X, but like I said, it didn't seem like it slowed me down any. As far as I was in the draft, the performance felt the same anyway. I didn't feel like I was losing anything.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, obviously we're looking at the car on the screen for the broadcast here, and it looks pretty clean here, and yeah, definitely seems seemed like a pretty.
Yeah, that incident happened so fast, I didn't even know what happened.
Yeah, we hardly had time to actually go back and rewind it there. So.
Oh, I'm back. Did you get the update on the points? Because I have the update.
I do have the update as well, and I guess Matt, if you are ready as the admin, I'll let you go for it.
Rick,
Yeah, it was a 1 point short.
you are due to that 4X that
Yeah.
that I said that the 25 has caused there. It got you a 4X. You are in second place over Gabe Butler by 2 points.
Yeah, that was a good run though.
Yeah.
That was a damn good run.
There's nothing to be ashamed
That
of.
shows you how important it is to be consistent. You can have 5 wins and still come up short.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it's all about consistency in top 5s, top 10s.
Yep, and I'll apologize. I may have called it too early, forgetting completely about the 0x bonus there, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Oh no!
So I apologize if you hear
Did
that
you
on the
break some
broadcast.
hearts?
I did.
Did you break some hearts?
I may have broke some hearts in the chat, so I will take that blame fully. That is obviously Matt and I joked earlier about needing to understand the bonus points before we actually broadcast a championship race. So we will not do that in the future, but. Obviously, still a really, really solid season. I mean, it came down to the end. We thought you were in a pretty good spot against Gabe there. Obviously, not knowing that there were the 0x bonus points still to be awarded. Gabe did get the bonus point for the most laps led there. Obviously, getting the bonus point for leading a lap and the most laps led. The bonus point for the pole position. Winning the race, and then the 2 bonus points for 0 incidents.
He got it all,
well,
a clean sweep. Huh?
That was enough to unfortunately be ahead of you by 2 points in the championship. But I mean, obviously, it came down really tight, and you mentioned already a little bit about consistency, and I mean, you guys were, as far as consistency goes, kind of the class of the field all season long. It seemed like.
Yeah, I'm proud to finish second to that guy. So. To even be in the top 5. So I'm happy where I'm at.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a lot to be proud of and a lot to be excited for with this past season. Obviously, the new look, the new sponsor, Chevrolet, kind of seemed like that was kind of, a little bit of a rebirth for you in a new image and seemed to be carrying you through a lot of really great moments through this season.
Yeah, it worked out. We went to Chevyland at Christmas and got us a new truck. Bubba Winningham helped me get that, and I said, "I'll put Chevyland on my car for the season." And he says, "That sounds good." And Then I won one and said, okay, I guess I got to keep this. And then I won another one and said, okay, now I can't get rid of it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I think probably safe to say we'll probably see you back in a Chevyland Chevrolet here in season 2 for 2024.
Yeah, more than likely, yeah. Different paint schemes, see if I can find some different ones.
Yeah, there's been some good ones so far for sure.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, well, I know definitely bummed to see us come close so close, come second to Gabe there, but still, like I said, a great season, and really excited to see you guys race it out. I mean, you guys gave us so much to talk about throughout the entire season, and a lot of fun racing to watch. So appreciate you guys out there. Love watching you get to do what you get to do, and give you that final chance of the season for that red carpet rollout and opportunities for thanks and shout outs there, Rick.
All right, thank you. First foremost, shout out to Area 51 for the league. I had a blast this season. And shout out to Gabe for the championship. He deserves it. He raced how he needed to race to win, and he did it. Shout out to family for supporting me, always being there. Shout out to Green White Checkers putting on the broadcast. Always great broadcast. Love watching those. And shout out to 4D Racewear for supporting us out here. We love that. And shout out to all the drivers. Love racing with them. See y'all next season.
Yeah, indeed, Rick. Definitely one of the most active fan bases in the chat, and we appreciate all the people cheering on the number 5 each week and supporting you. And we'll wish you best of luck, happy off season, and we'll talk to you soon, Rick.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Alrighty. So again, we mentioned there the final official points update we get from Matt from the admin side of things. Had to mention that again, apologies there for the mistake calling that there. Forgot about some of the bonus points, so I will take full responsibility for that. But without further ado, that means we've got a champion to crown and a race winner to bring up to the broadcast booth. That is the 88 of Gabe Butler. Gabe, it was so close that we accidentally called it for the 5 of Rick Sanchez, but with the bonus points you had for the lap, the most laps led, for leading a lap, for having the pole, for winning the race, the bonus point there, and then for the 0x award by 2 points, you have won the championship and the final race of the season. Talk us through how you got there tonight.
Well, first of all, I didn't win the championship. The team did. That was just a tremendous job by Kevin and Eric tonight. But I have to give a huge shout out to Rick Sanchez for the season that he had coming in tonight. We were all talking. We were pretty sure he had it in the bag, and it would have taken something extraordinary to make up those 8 points that we were behind. He's been the most consistent driver the whole season. I think he had like 5 wins, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah, correct.
I just got to give him massive props for his season. And yeah, came down to 2 points. And again, Kevin did a masterful job there, pushing at the end. And shout out to Bob Fitzgerald. He did a hell of a job keeping Rick up there, and it was really tight at the end there, and we just came out on top and got another one for Bootnaka.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, that team effort there. We saw the one incident, unfortunately, that Kevin was involved in that kept him from being up on the lead lap, being in the top 5 with you there, but still able to help. And seemed like, thankfully, we calmed down quite a bit after all the chaos that we saw in last week's race at iRacing Superspeedway. Were you kind of expecting a calmer night after everything that went on there, or were you expecting to see a little more yellows tonight?
No, that's the way it tends to go. We'll have one bad race and we'll have one great race, and then we'll have a bad race. It seems to alternate, but I felt pretty confident tonight of, doing well, but getting the extra bonus points was, I don't know what to say, just pure luck, I guess, especially with having 0 incidents. That was a big thing, and getting the pole was a bonus. So, yeah, just wow. Hell of an end to a championship.
Yeah, it came all together at the right time, and yeah, there was about 8 points that you needed to make up, and even though you finished just one spot ahead of Rick, you're able to come back all the way to get that championship. Now I know obviously you've celebrated a few of these, and I think I've asked you a few times any special celebrations that you might have for this championship tonight.
Uh, Not really, but I will say this: this was one of the most fun championship races, as it were. I mean, it was just super tight for the whole race. Rick was there, idling away. We were going back and forth, trying to lead the most laps. So it was the ultimate championship race, I thought. And I just happened to be the lucky one to come out on top. And it's well within his wheelhouse to win a few of these.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys were pretty much the class of the field, and at the beginning of the playoffs, I kind of talked to both you and the five and Rick, and said, you guys kind of seemed like the favorites, and here you two are slinging out at the end for this battle in the championship. But definitely was a lot of fun to watch you guys this season, and congratulations again to you to another adding another championship to the trophy case here at Area 51 for you, Gabe. Yeah, I want to give you that final opportunity now for the red carpet rollout for any thanks or shoutouts for that race win tonight. I think 2 on the season, and the overall championship for the first season of 2024 as well.
Just a big shout out to the Boot Knocker team again. Kevin, Eric, Brian when he got a chance to run with us, and a few others that popped in during the season. Of course, all the drivers for showing up each weekend, racing hard and racing clean, and that's always been a big thing with Area 51. Good hard racing, clean for the majority of it, and of course, all the admins for all the headaches that they have to put up with. And of course, you guys up in the booth, Matt, Boomer, and Gael when he's around. On Sundays, you guys do a fantastic job broadcasting these races. Your analysis and the way you keep up with all the drivers, give everybody a mention. I think everybody enjoys that. So, yeah, just a very happy Irishman this evening.
Well, thank you, Gabe, for the kind words, and appreciate you as well. And hope you have a very happy off season, and we'll see you back for season 2 of 2024 very soon.
All right, gents, have a good evening.
Yep, and congratulations.
Thanks.
Alrighty. What a finish to the season, Matt.
That was very interesting. I'm actually kind of shocked that actually happened. 2 points. I
Yeah.
I've been here for a long time for Area 51, and I've been watching some some point battles and other stuff. But this is probably the tightest one that Gabe's probably been into. It's gonna be fun watching the season 2, because I think that 5 car is not gonna give up till he wins one.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I know, like we said, he kind of seemed like he was the favorite with all the wins he was knocking out throughout the season, and unfortunately, I mean, just came up. Really, the only difference tonight, it would have been a tie if it weren't for the 2-point bonus for 0x for Gabe tonight. Obviously, the 5 just barely getting any little bit of contact there from the issue that Kevin Freese and Jack Walls when they got sent to the inside of the backstretch there. But that was the difference for the championship, and that'll crown another championship for Gabe Butler. But if that 5 of Rick Sanchez, if he continues to do what he's been doing all season long, if he continues that into the rest of 2024, I don't think it'll be crazy to say that he could be the next champion or have one by the end of our 3rd season here in 2024 with the way he's been racing. So a lot of really great opportunities, great teammate work that we've seen all season long, and a lot of fun. And now it's actually our pleasure to get to do a little bit of a special thing for 4dayraceway.com. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast that they were going to raffle off a pair of gloves to one of the drivers who has made 10 or more starts in the season, and we actually get to run that here in the broadcast booth. So we'll pull that up. We'll pause the stream, or at least the on-track action that you can see before we bring up that final running order, and we'll bring up the randomizer here. You can see all the names that are eligible for those gloves, and we'll hit the randomize button here once, and we'll see who our winner is, and it's gonna be Rick Sanchez. So
Wow,
Rick
man,
Sanchez is gonna win the pair of gloves, and that's pretty fitting, I think, Matt. Wow, I can't believe that.
Okay. So Tuesday night, there was a really tough point battle between my number one driver and our number two driver. So the winner who won the championship didn't win the pair of gloves. The guy who finished second in points, Nick DeGroot, won the pair of gloves.
That is crazy. Like, I swear this is not a video. This is my cursor live that you can see on the screen.
Wow.
So, yeah, that is...
wow.
Man, that is crazy. So, congratulations there to Rick Sanchez, winner of the randomizer and winner of the free gloves from 4draceware.com. So, a little bit of a consolation prize there for apparently second place for everybody here in Area 51 for at least two of the race seasons that we've had so far, but two of the season finales that we've had so far, and good battles throughout the season. We'll bring up that final race results for the season here at Talladega. As you saw, Gabe Butler taking home the win and the championship. Rick Sanchez second place. We talked to Bob Fitzgerald. A really great opportunity, really great finish for him at the end of this one. Dean Wilkinson, Adam Kilday rounding out that top 5 group there that we saw in the battle to the end. We saw Nick Wing and Bud Steele a little bit further back, about 21 seconds off the pace. They're going to have a pretty solid run in 6th and 7th for those Roswell Motorsports teammates. Jeremy Osborne coming in the 8th position there for Blind Squirrel Racing, the last car, on the lead lap. Eric Lord, we saw him have a few troubles there in that 071. He's going to come home 1 lap down, just ahead of Jim Brooks to round out that top 10. Jack Walls there in 11th. We saw him make the contact with Kevin Freese, who's going to finish just behind him. And they got sent to the inside wall, and that's pretty much the only chaos that we had in this race there. And then we saw the issues for Seth and Patrick Groover, unfortunately having to start from the pit lane and unable to rejoin the leaders at any point with no yellow flags here tonight at Talladega. We saw Brandon Briggs and Carl Engel, who we mentioned had a few struggles here and there throughout the night, and that'll round out the top 16. But Matt, I want to get your perspective. What are your thoughts on the finish to this season and the race tonight?
You know, it's like what Rick said in his interview. Consistency wins. And he did have one hiccup. And that's all it takes. It's just one hiccup.
One hiccup beyond his control, too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, if I go back and remember the race, that was beyond his control. But, as you say, super speedway racing is... I usually say it's 50% luck and 50% skill. But some of these other guys think it the other way around, like 80% skill, 20% luck. Ricky needs all the luck he can get. This time, luck was not on his side here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. None of his own doing there, getting involved in the incident with the 83 and the 25, and taking away that 2 bonus points that are so critical for this championship. And Gabe Butler able to gain 10 points on Rick tonight, so he came into tonight 8 points behind, and will leave 10 points ahead. And we will bring up that final point standings for the season. You see there, Gabe Butler with 1,149 points for tonight, the second win of the season in 12 starts. Rick Sanchez there with 1,147, just 2 points behind, falls 1 spot, and will be the bridesmaid for the championship standings. Adam Kildee there jumping up 1 spot with a solid finish that he had. He's going to come home at P3 in the standings. Pretty good season for him and a pretty solid playoffs here as well, as he's going to actually get ahead of Kevin Freese there in the final race. Kevin falling 1 spot back, 1,122 points for him. Dean Wilkinson jumps up 1 spot over Eric Laurie to claim the final spot in the top 5. Then Eric Laurie, and look at that, Bob Fitzgerald with that 3rd place finish tonight. He's going to grab 4 extra spots there, and he's going to come home 7th. Nick Wing, Jim Brooks, and Jack Walls coming home in the top 10 of the standings as well. So, yeah, definitely a lot of fun as always. Really appreciate being able to be a part of this. Yeah, it was a good championship battle all the way up to the end. Next season, I will definitely have a better idea of what the bonus points are, so we can keep track of that during the broadcast. But nonetheless, again, apologies there for the mispronounced champion there, and Gabe Butler, the 88, will bring home the first championship on Thursday nights in 2024. Yeah, unless you got anything else to add, Matt, I think we're just about ready to wrap it up here.
No, I really don't. It's pretty much been a very interesting season. You did have some comings and goers, but it goes to show you that you can dominate the regular season. And when it comes playoff time, you better bring your A game.
Absolutely.
And have luck on your side.
Yeah, it was that consistency that I think all 5 of the championship favorites mentioned that needed to happen for them in the playoffs. And Rick, obviously very consistent. Gabe, a little bit more up and down, but had a really strong finish here tonight. Grabbed every single bonus point eligible to him other than Hard Charger because he started on the pole, and comes home a champion for 2024. Well, for myself, Boomer Logan, and for my friend Matt Wagner, I think we're going to wrap this one up here. We do have one more race this week to crown a champion on Sunday nights in the Truck Series Super Speedways on Sundays again. So they've got one more race in their season. They will crown a championship this week, and it'll be our final championship, our final race for the first split of 2024. We'll be back for Season 2 in a few weeks. Take a little bit of an off week or an off season here, and be back with more action here on Green White Checkered TV for Area 51. Again, for myself, Boomer Logan, and for my good friend Matt Wagner, we will sign off and say take care and see you soon.